Imagine you're taking a walk through your neighborhood park with your friends on a cool, sunny day. You pass by your neighbor and their dog taking one of their daily walks. You pass by the playground and a sparkling fountain, when all of a sudden, you start to hear some unusual sounds of splashing and birdsong. As you follow these strange sounds into a cluster of trees, the air seems to get warmer. And the closer you get to the sound, the more the trees begin to change into a dense jungle. You push past a large bush, only to stumble into a wild animal meeting. You look in amazement at a giant giraffe, a sly alligator, a happy hippo, and a wise-looking elephant with a chipper toucan on its back. You can hardly believe your eyes, and just then you hear your friends calling you back to the neighborhood park you just knew. You'll have to tell them all about the fantastic jungle animals you've just seen. Luckily, today we will be learning how to sculpt one of these jungle animals out of clay. Would you like to learn how to make a snake? Gather all your materials and let's get started. To begin, mix a stick of green and brown clay and a small chunk of black clay together completely. To have enough clay to cover up your entire foil snake, repeat this step again. Flatten out your new dark green clay and apply to your snake's foil body structure in patches until it's entirely covered in dark green clay. Once covered, use your hands or a rolling pin to smooth out any bumps, bubbles, seams, or bald spots. To make the color for this snake's belly, mix a stick of beige clay with a small chunk of yellow clay completely. Then mix in another stick of beige clay. Make small circles with your new beige and yellow clay. Roll them into small cylinders, flatten, and place along the underside of the entire length of the snake. The underside is the one where there is no bump for the top of the snake's head. Once you have the snake's belly covered in your beige-yellow scales, curve the end of the snake into a circle that meets about a quarter of the way up the snake's body. Curve up the end of the tail and head to your liking. This curving of the snake's body may make some cracks appear in the green clay, so smooth out those where needed. To accentuate your snake's head, add a flattened oval of green clay to the top front of the snake's head bump and smooth the seams. And to accentuate the snake's front snout, add another flat oval of dark green clay to the front snout structure. To make some cheeks for your snake, roll out 2 balls of dark green clay into short cylinders and taper the ends into points with your fingers. Then add each cheek to the side of the snake's face and smooth out the seams. Now for the snake's mouth. Make 4 more small balls of beige-yellow clay. Roll them into cylinders and flatten like before, and add 3 to the underside of the snake's mouth. Using the last small ball of beige-yellow clay, make a flattened triangle shape and curve it around the bottom of the snake's snout. Before smoothing out the last side of the snake's lower jaw, roll a long, thin teardrop out of black clay and place onto the middle inside of the snake's mouth. To add some signature detail to the snake's tongue, roll a very small cone out of black clay and attach to the side of the tongue. To make the snake's brow bones, mix a bit of your dark green clay with your beige-yellow clay. Once mixed completely, roll 2 balls of your new light green clay into cylinders and taper both ends, then place on top of and around the eyes. Then roll 2 balls of dark green clay into cylinders, taper both ends, and place on top of and around the light green brow bones you just added. Make 2 little worms out of black clay. Place them on top of the green brow bones, and you have eyebrows. For the cheeks, flatten out 2 balls of the beige-yellow clay. Taper the ends into points and add onto either side of the snake's mouth. Then add flattened strips of dark green clay around each beige-yellow smile comma. And now to complete your face. Add 2 small balls of black clay onto the very front of the snake's snout. Poke holes with a toothpick into the middle of each and wrap a small worm of dark green clay around each black nostril. And for our final step, let's add some stripes onto the snake's back. Similarly to how you made the snake's belly scales, roll slightly larger balls of brown clay into cylinders, flatten them, and place along the top of the entire length of the snake's body. And then you're done! You've made your very own clay snake.